Welcome back, guys. The new Odyssey update is finally live and it is so huge. I am actually surprised how big it is. But we'll come to that later. The download, depending on your system, is around 13 to 14 gigabytes. And when you start Odyssey for the first time, you will see the new franchise menu. But actually, this menu turned out just to be an incentive to maybe get Valhalla. I would say maybe don't get it. You can play all the new Odyssey content without even getting Valhalla, so you better just never touch this button. And then we have the patch notes here from version 1.5.6, or if you are PlayStation it might be version 1.6, explaining all the new story, the new Corfu Island. You can access it as soon as you complete the Kefalonia prologue, because also the quest is located on Kefalonia. So you have to complete Kefalonia, and there's a big spoiler warning that you maybe should finish the game first. There are also in-game warnings before you start the quest, but you can actually directly do it once you are finished with Kefalonia. And of course, we have new features like you can now fast travel to ports, and what is not mentioned here is that also the Ezio set and the Northern Traveler set are finally ported to Stadia. So when you fire up your Stadia game save, you will immediately receive the whole Ezio set and the whole Northern Traveler set as new rewards. The most important things first, all our major glitches, the Bighorn Bow, the Ezio Enhance, the Northern Traveler's perk are still working. You can use the Bighorn Bow to amplify your warrior damage and also use your warrior damage when you shoot your arrows. You can have the 2 kills Ares Madness reset from the Northern Traveler's engraving, even though its sets is still 15%. You only need 2 kills to reset Ares Madness, and you can also reset your Ezio Enhance when you do it. The new island is actually not part of the main map of Assassin's Creed Odyssey, but you can access it when you travel to the new purple quest marker, A Great Escape, which is located on Kefalonia. And the easiest way to do that is simply to use the new port fast travel points. All those ports in Assassin's Creed Odyssey are now allowing you to fast travel as well. When you speak to the quest giver, you will be prompted with a big warning like legitimate progression, but it only means, do you really want to spoil yourselves the late game content because there might be some references in the new story? If you already played this game multiple times, you can simply ignore it, and if not, then you have to decide yourself if you rather want to play the game first or do the new expansion first. Even though they are immediately starting to talk about something that happens in Elysium or in other DLCs, you are prompted with a final warning. Okay, do you really want to know all this stuff? Also ignore this one and then you are ready to go. You will be immediately teleported to Corfu Island. It will say 6 months later, like you clearly see Cassandra is having a great vacation. The new leisure clothing she's actually wearing in the cutscene is also available for Transmog. You get it immediately after you take control over Cassandra, and once you find your gear, you can also apply this new stuff as your Transmog. So I've now collected it. You can see you can just equip this new getaway garb, and it will also immediately upgrade to your character level. But what surprised me the most is how big the new island, the new expansion actually turned out to be. And given the fact that all this is free, this is truly amazing. The new island is so big that you can barely see the fast travel point at the south. You can zoom in, zoom out. There are 3 different territories. It is almost as big as the first Origins expansion we had. And of course, also in this new update we also get new broken stuff and new broken engravings. The first item we get here is the new second sight, or which is more accurately the bullshit bow. The bullshit bow adds 200% headshot damage, but it reduces your base damage by 100%. Now, if you have a little knowledge about how your multipliers actually work in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, reducing your base damage, which is your lower value, the lower factor in a multiplication, is not a good idea. And since it also reduces our warrior damage, which we need when you use the Bighorn Bow, there is absolutely no point in using this item ever. I would so much like to dismantle this stuff, but I sadly can't do it. So please never use this item. The only bow you really need to have in this game is the Bighorn Bow. And then we have the Knife of Dalvon, which is actually a very awesome weapon. So the total opposite of what we had on the bow, this item really breaks the game in an insane crazy way we have like never seen before. Because it always allows you to assassinate enemies which are on your level or below your level. So this essentially removes the requirement to have any assassin damage in your build. If you have this engraving, you don't need any assassin damage. And if you also use the beacon bow, you don't need any hunter damage in your build. So what is left is only the warrior damage. You don't need any hunter damage items, you don't need any assassin damage items. All you need from that point on after you install this DLC is warrior damage. And since we already use a health cap on the assassin damage engraving anyway, we can also use the other health cap engraving, which gives us another 100% warrior damage for our build. That is the new best combination with the beacon bow and those two engravings. You don't need anything else after you install this patch. There will also be a new build video with these mechanics soon, so stay tuned, check it out, and don't forget to subscribe, leave me a like, and see you next time. Special thanks to Juanpa for providing me these pictures to use them in my video.